What's up, guys? Jebber Gaming Jaws here. So recently, I have started getting a little bit back into the mode of being an active video game collector, and a lot of the reason that I kind of put it on hold a little bit, it's not like I've been completely out of collecting, but the prices got so absolutely outrageous about a year to 2 years ago, and basically they hit a point where it was like I'm not paying these prices, and also like the competition for finding good deals was just absolutely insane. I would go out for yard sales, and there had already been tons of people before me looking for retro games. You know, what can you do? That's just the way that it is when a hobby gets popular. I'd go to Goodwill and different thrift stores, and either they're pricing them at or above eBay, or they simply aren't there, and that was kind of rough too. So it definitely like was deflating a bit. Just it just is what it is. So lately I have been adding games to my collection still, but it's been a whole lot more of like, okay, what do I actually want to play? What's a good game? Okay, this is actually worth spending $40 on because it's something that I actually want to play and it's in really good condition or whatever. So lately, actually, I've been shopping primarily at game stores, and I've been really pleasantly surprised recently in looking at some prices on some different things. Particularly, the NES seems to have come down a little bit. Um, there are some games like that I've paid attention over time. Contra is a good example. So Contra, about a year and a half ago, was running $50, maybe 45. You can find it for, but currently on eBay you can pick up Contra for $20. That's awesome. If you go and look at sold listings of Contra, that's about what it's selling right now. That's awesome. That's more than half, more than cut in half from a year and a half ago. That's great. Contra is not a rare game. There were tons of it made. The reason that it has any value whatsoever is just because it's a good game. But that was really cool for me to see. Another game, the exact same thing that I saw was Zelda on the NES. Was going for about $40 a year or so ago. Now that's dropped down to 20 also. You can buy that easily on eBay, or I was at the local game store. They actually had it marked for 35 a year ago, and I almost bought it because I was thinking about playing it right then, and I decided to play some other things, so I held off on it. Glad that I did. They had two copies of it for $20 each, so yeah, the prices, at least on the NES, are coming down a little bit. I don't know if it's that console specifically. I don't know if everybody who's been looking for complete collections or whatever have just gotten what they need, and the demand is coming down. Um, but it's awesome for someone like me who I still have tons of things I'd like to get. I mean, they actually had a box at my local game store of NES games that he's taken to the flea market and selling for $1 a piece. Like a year ago, you couldn't find a common NES game for like under $6 or $7. Everything was like 7, 8, 9, $10. So the fact that a local game store is now selling common NES titles for $1 a piece is pretty dope, in my opinion. Definitely makes jumping back into collecting a little bit more appealing. Um, I think with collecting, my take is that you got to look at it very long term. It's not a good idea to buy these games at the prices that they've been, because the price is only going to drop. We definitely hit the top of that ceiling, is my opinion. I'm not saying that the bubble is going to burst and these games are going to be worth absolutely nothing. I don't think that's going to happen. I think what we're going to see is a very, very gradual, slower decline. Like, I'm talking 10, 20 years. Like, I think that retro collecting is probably going to continue to, like, decrease slightly. I think that we've hit the top part of it, at least for some consoles. It's hard to say. I mean, I'm not, like, a expert on this kind of stuff, but I've been really happy seeing some prices come down on some games. Um, yeah, it's inspiring. One thought that I've had is that with the release of the NES Classic and the SNES Classic, it may be getting people more in that zone of thinking like, do I really want to spend all this money on these cartridges, or do I want to play the games through another means? And if that's the case, that's awesome, because obviously less demand, us collectors will be able to pick up more cartridges and games. So I love it. I have some long-term collecting goals still that I've been working on slightly here and there. My primary one that I've been working on is a complete Dreamcast collection. I still have quite a ways to go with that, but if you just continue to add here and there, eventually you'll get there, right? So that's been a lot of fun. Another one that I would like to do is the Wii U. I think it'd be awesome to have a complete collection of that system. I love the Wii U and the Dreamcast. Those are both great consoles and small libraries and just kind of like unique in their place in the gaming whatever. So, alright. Let me know what your guys' experience has been with collecting lately. Have you lost the drive like me for a while? For a while there, I was just hitting yard sales every weekend and going crazy and looking at Goodwill, every other day or so. And I don't know, it just got to the point where it wasn't yielding results at all. It was very tough to keep that level of intensity up when you're just not getting benefit from it. But if prices are going down somewhat, which at least in my area they are, I also think it can be regional, so this may not be true in your area, but for me here, it definitely seems like prices have come down somewhat. There's a game at a local game store, Shenmue. It's been there for 6 months, and they're asking a very reasonable price. It's $40 marked on it. I can't believe that thing wasn't snatched up right away. Like, it's just been sitting there. I can't believe it. Like, there's a lot of things like that. There's a lot of, like, really good games for fair prices, and they're not moving, So, let me know what you guys think about this in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe if you're not. Peace. Have a good one. Later.